Hello, Neutral here. We've got a Vaillant boiler and I'll switch it on and show you what happens. It says F25 flame failure, and the reason is the pressure has dropped. Now we've had them round here doing it hours and hours and hours. So the only way I can show you is there's a filling loop what fills the system. Now this is only a temporary measure, but what I'll do is there's a tap on either end if I can do it. You should hear it fill up. What I've done one. God, blimey, that is. Shit, am I doing the right one? This is very strange. Oh, I have to get a spanner. I bet I ain't got one in here. But anyway, what normally happens? Yeah. I'm just gonna watch that. It's just really tight, that tap. So I'm letting the pressure rise up. I've got my hand on the tap. Turn it back off again. Come on, focus. That's about right there. Perfect. I got the engineer to draw a line on it, or I did it, I can't remember, but that's roughly where he advised us to do it if it does it again. So I've turned that one back off again, and I'll turn this one that's that way, this one. Right, so they're both off again now, and so now the pressure's up and it shows you quite clearly there. Press that and it should reset and kick back in again and see if it works. In fact, I'm going to turn the hot water down a bit. Don't need to really be that hot. Right, it's on. Thank you. Right, brilliant. That's quite simple. That's about the extent of my knowledge, to be honest, with these boilers. They came round, they spent hours and hours. They changed every seal on this thing. There's a pressure vent valve, a little like a brass tub with a lid. It looks like a tyre inflator. It looks like a little cap on the top. That's what it looks like. It's got a float inside. That was all carbon, all blacked up, and you changed that. There was a big seal, massive big one on the burner chamber. He changed that eventually. They messed about with the computer. Took them about 3 days, 6 months ago, back and forth. And you know, they come here it didn't take them a whole 3 days, but they kept coming back and waiting for parts and la la la. So there shouldn't really be any leaks, and that pressure has dropped quite significantly. To be honest, I haven't been monitoring it. Usually I do. Even after this amount of time, it's been fine for about 6 months, I reckon. I'll have to find the receipt. It's about that, of their inspection thing. Inspection certificate. It's been fine for all that time. Let's just hope it's not found something else to go wrong. I think the old boilers were much better than these new things. Anyway, that's me. Enough me waffling on. So you've seen the filling loop. There's a tap. Them two taps. Most are the same. all you got to make sure is you turn them off again. You just fill that loop up, it loses. There's no leaks on the radiators or anything. I suppose if there was a leak on the radiators, it would do the same thing. But because there isn't anywhere in here where it's leaking. That's all I can advise you to. I'd get an engineer. If it's doing it all the time, get someone to look at it. You know, the little brass thing I was talking about, the air pressure regulator thing with a little float valve, they're only about £5 or £6. But anything else, you know, you'd have to switch everything off, switch the water off. But everything else in here, I wouldn't do. I don't even know if I would do that. You'd have to ask someone else. And if everyone has got any advice, what you think they can do themselves, I think to even fix one of these, you've got to be registered. To even, you know, they wouldn't like it if you did it, but there you go. As with most things these days. Yeah, well, that's enough of me waffling on. I'll upload this now. Cheers.